You need to prove you're looking for work.
Living antithesis, revel in this, resist. Maybe you get to just venomous. Standing in line. mine is the way that you go. I will survive on the path that I chose. Sever the ties from the blind and all those ignorant bastards. I am in control. You won't see me alive. I'd rather die than live in this prison. I am anti-everything. Done being kind. I draw the line. No, I will not give in. I am anti-everything. 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 Let risk cover the world with it. I am a pessimist. I am obsessed with it, blessed with it. Leave a mark. Show me a battle scar. Ripping the rules apart. I am a war. Give me a stone and I'll cast the first blow. Cover me up in the truth that I know. Doing it now when you said that I won't. Hungry and harder in all of my own. You won't take me alive. I'd rather die than live in this prison. I am anti-everything. Done being kind. I draw the line. No, I will not give in. I am anti-everything. 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 You'll never get the best of me. I'm anti-everything. You'll never get the best of me. I'm anti-everything. I wanna see the Constitution burn. I wanna watch the White House overturn. I wanna witness some blue blood bleed fucking red. Wanna turn and lead the KKK. Wanna pull and shoot the NRA. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Murder the government. Murder the government. Murder the government and men. Yeah, yeah. Murder the government. Murder the government. Murder the government. USA North America. It's not the right time to be sober. Now the idiots have taken over, spreading like a social cancer. You sick little monkey!
What the fuck, man?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm worse than Hitler?
I'll smoke it with you, bro. We'll go to the loony bin together. I don't give a fuck.
No one ever wants to pay me to have sex.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Gentlemen, we are dealing with someone here who has absolutely no life.
Stuck up, half
you. Yeah, that's my message to you. Fuck you and kiss my ass. It's time!
What you are witnessing, dear friends, is the most enormous miracle of the machine age.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Do we have sound? Did I mute something? No, I'm just really goddamn low. Alright. Hang on there, folks. Let's play with some knobs and some buttons and see where the problem lies. Motherfucker. Every time. Testing. Son of a bitch! I see okay, but that doesn't do anything for me. We're, live and getting nothing. And this was all just working fine. Not all that long ago. Test. You guys lost me somewhere. I don't know what happened. Whoa. Whoa. Hey there. Wow. That's no bueno. Hi. Holy shit. All right, hang on. Now I gotta fuck with some knobs. You fucked it up. You fucked it up. I realistically. All right. My sound is really gonna be fucked up today. I apologize. I'm not sure where I'm at there. Okay. All right. I didn't fuck anything up. I'm gonna be realistic. Everything was working just fine for the most part when I started, and I had the music going. Shit started going crazy, and you're losing me. Oh my god. Oh my god. I gotta find the sweet spot. We gotta change mixers immediately. That was one of the things I was going to talk about today. Hopefully you guys, I'm not fucking anybody's eardrums up. So I'm sorry to start off this way. It's really awkward now. It's like exceptionally uncomfortable. I'm freaking out. But yeah, so hi, welcome back. Number 30. Here I am. Here we are. Awkward start to things because sound issues. I'm using the new board that I thought was going to be better off, and it turns out the cheaper, older one that I had laying around is going to be what saves me, because this thing is falling apart every week now, and it's really not all that fun. anymore. So, where was I before, and what was I gonna talk about? And hi, I'm all thrown off now. I'm completely fucking out of whack because I didn't expect to have these kinds of problems. But hi, everyone. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you spending time with me, and etc., etc. Obviously, one of the things I was going to talk about is that you've noticed the light has been fucked up the last time I was on. The sound is fucked up, and that's because I've had a lot of issues. I tried to change some things around. It obviously didn't work out the way I anticipated, and instead I'm left with my dick in my hand like every other day. And I'm going to have to change the room around and swap some equipment out and fix things up so that hopefully next time everything can sound and look professional like it's supposed to. Yes, I know. God damn it. God damn me. God damn this thing where I hope the sounds aren't going nuts because I don't know what's going on. So that was one of the things I was going to talk about. The other ones, you can't hear sound effects? I don't know, dude. Don't criticize me so harshly. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It's been so long that I don't know what's going on. What about this? Okay. Can you hear this?
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Can you hear that? Because granted, it was really low, but I could hear that. Alright, well, you're back to being able to hear that stuff, too. Which I can't hear. Because it's all really fucking low. But, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how loud it's going to be.
I'm Pickle Rick!
That shit is really low for me. Sorry, guys. I don't want to be touching all this shit at the moment.
I'm Pickle Rick!
But that's really low for me. I don't know how it sounds to anybody else, but I can't get the buttons right. I don't know what's going on. What if I...
I'm Pickle Rick!
Holy shitballs. That was... Oh my god. Alright. I give up. I'm done pushing buttons. I'm done pushing buttons. I'm done wasting your time, because I'm going to waste a whole lot more of it. So anyway, I've been working on some new stuff just to throw it out there so that you guys know what I do in my spare time. Adobe After Effects, I'm learning some of that shit, so I'm going to try and build a show intro so that other than just staring at the cartoon of me and the title, maybe there'll actually be something to look at and a nice, fun little actual introduction thing. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should, that guy Primal, it's down there somewhere. Check it out because there's a couple, at least one of the things I was working on was posted on Instagram. Also, I've been spending more time trying to grow Instagram, and I've learned that I was an average to bad Instagram user, and I wasn't really following things I should have been following if I wanna build the account. At the same time that I learned that I was like an average or slightly less than average Instagram user. Instagram? I've been drinking. I also found out I'm a fucking terrible Twitter user. I am horrible. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've got next to no followers, and I have no shame in saying that because I am terrible at Twitter. And I'm not old enough that where it like passed me by and I just don't fucking get it anymore. It's not that. I'm just really fucking bad at it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm retweeting shit and just tweeting stupid, fucking useless junk other than the fact that I'm live, which I didn't tweet. You see what I'm talking about? I do things. We'll push the button now. We'll tweet it now. While we're talking about Twitter, we'll tweet now that we've been live for the past 10 minutes with problems and everybody can come enjoy the shit show. Everybody, 33 people that follow me, one of which might be my own accounts, can come join in and watch. But yeah, I'm really bad. You're tweeting with your dick. That is also true. My Twitter account is probably a void of garbage and pornography, and I have no idea. I use it a little more now that I'm doing the podcast again. I'm trying to pay attention to it, but I'm really fucking bad at it. Twitter is not my steez. I don't have the gusto to hang in the Twitterverse. But Instagram, I'm okay. Pictures of my face are on the down. Pictures of audio equipment and podcast shows are on the rise. That's exactly the way it should be, except for the fact that you have to look at me to enjoy the show, which might be problematic over time. Regardless of my social media life that you should follow and laugh at and insult me on like other people do, it keeps me entertained. The other thing, and where I stole my steez from, something else that I started to get into, if it was titties instead of Twitter, you'd figure it out. If you're using Twitter for porn, you're doing it wrong. Look, it's not my fault. I can use anything for pornography. I'm that good. Anything. You throw it my direction or some sort of technology, and I will find a way to use it for pornography. Because I have nothing else to do with my free time. I take care of my daughter whenever I have her. And other than that, it's just doing this and finding interesting ways to use different pieces of technology for pornography. What I was going to say, I don't even know if any of these buttons...
Okay, terrific.
That's really loud to me. Hopefully it works for you. I needed it I felt like I needed it in that moment. The other thing I've discovered that I've started to get into, and I wanted to recommend to all of you, is a show on Netflix called Slobby's World. And Slobby's World is a reality show based on a guy named Slobby Robbie out in Tucson, Arizona, and he sells vintage 80s and 90s clothes and collectibles, and it's fucking awesome because that's my entire life. I grew up and still stuck in, if you've never seen my style, still stuck in the 90s 100%. And I found out that all of the clothes that I wear and have worn my whole life are now worth like hundreds of dollars, some of them. So I was blown away. And now all I want to do is go through all my clothes and sell all my clothes from high school for hundreds or thousands of dollars. I'll probably make like $65, but I want to try. I probably have nothing worth value in the vintage world, but it's worth a shot. Moving forward, I'm so off track, and I see phone calls coming through, and yeah. Let's move on. Where were we? The gaming news. Sorry, guys, I'm really off track tonight. I know. In gaming news, which is supposed to be a segment that I don't have prepared, so deal with it, because it is what it is. I will be doing streaming. I was going to do it this week. 10 pairs of UFOs. I still have a pair of UFOs somewhere, too. They're a little bit beat up, but I still have UFOs. And backtracking, in gaming news, this is terrible. What a train wreck. I'm going to say it again. In gaming news, I should have been streaming Fallout Friday on Twitch this past Friday, but I didn't. You can tell by the look on my face, because I can see my own face, how horrible and sweaty I am right now. But I was supposed to be streaming Fallout this past Friday, and I didn't get to because my sleep schedule was so fucked up. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning every goddamn morning, and I wouldn't wake up till noon, which doesn't work for the couple, 3 hours of streaming I would have. I wake up at noon, I've got no time to do anything but get up, have coffee, and get the fuck out of here and get to my job, my real job. So unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I'm on a bit of a better sleeping schedule now, so hopefully this Friday I'll be on streaming Fallout 76, and you can watch me roam around the wasteland for a while and work on my shitty house I've been trying to improve anytime I log into the game. Alright. With all that said, and we got the personal out of the way, and besides that, I'm a Cowboys fan. Fuck you guys that want to yell at me for it. I am a Cowboys fan. Unfortunately, they lost. On the upside of life, the Eagles just lost a little while ago, and they're out too. So that at least makes me feel a little bit better. It doesn't put my Cowboys one game closer to the Super Bowl, but it does at least mean that the Eagles will not be doing anything. I can't talk. I can't get through anything. Let me start with some of the stuff I have here. Let's get into some of the stories I have, and see if we can make something out of a mess. And we'll just pray that next week goes better, guys. So, first, we're going to talk about Burger King. Because I do love me some Burger King. And story goes, and I was told last week, because I was stumbling over everything and getting caught arguing with the article before I even knew the full story. I did go over the stories a bit this week, so I have a general idea of what's going on here. All right? So I'm not going into these completely cold. I can tell you that Burger King is bailing on a deal with a customer that they had promised burgers for life, or ever, or technically an undetermined amount of time, because there was no time frame set, really, it seems. But Burger King is, or Burger King customer is suing them for allegedly reneging on its promise of a lifetime supply of free meals to compensate for enduring more than an hour locked in a foul-smelling bathroom, which apparently is all you really need to get a free lifetime, or, well, maybe not, of burgers from Burger King, is get locked inside a really shitty-smelling bathroom for an hour, and you've hit the golden ticket of BK. But he found himself trapped in the bathroom at Burger King in Portland, Oregon, back in December, and he used his cell phone to call the store and ask for help, and they, what, their response was they slid a fly swatter under the door and told him to basically try and unjam the door with a fly swatter, and he couldn't get out, stayed locked inside the bathroom for well over an hour, before a locksmith came and finally busted him free. And he was quoted as, "It's the kind of place where you hold your breath, get in and out of there as fast as you can." That wasn't an option for me, obviously. He was too shaken to immediately leave the restaurant. Come on, bro. I mean, I know it's not fun and you're locked inside a really shitty smelling bathroom, but the golden shower from BK. I know you got locked inside a really crappy smelling bathroom for an hour and it sucked and it was inconvenient, but too shaken to immediately leave the restaurant? Like, what, did you need to be coddled for a couple minutes and sit there like, oh my god, it smells so bad, it smells so bad? It's, grow up. It's not that you're not traumatized because you got locked inside a Burger King bathroom for an hour. At most, you were inconvenienced. Maybe missed a job interview. But you're not going to spend the rest of your life horrified to go into a fast food restaurant bathroom. He told the newspaper that the employees gave him a Band-Aid and some ointment for a cut he sustained in the incident. What were you doing? Were you, like, throwing yourself against the door? That you sustained any kind of injury, cut or otherwise? And the verbal agreement that they had, a manager apologized to the guy, told him he'd no longer have to pay for his meals. Now, they don't have the exact quote of how that went down. It was a verbal agreement, and apparently he would no longer have to pay for his meals. That doesn't mean today, this week, the rest of the month, 8 years from now. They don't have the exact verbiage, but it reportedly remained in play for 13 consecutive days. So even though he was horrified, too horrified to leave the store right after they got him out of the bathroom, he did, however, return for 13 days in a row afterwards buying Burger King, but came to an abrupt end on December 28th when he was told the district manager had nixed the endless freebie. He's seeking, honestly, a pretty mild $9,026, the estimated cost of eating one $7.89 Whopper meal a week for the next 22 years. He's 50 years old. This may seem like a story right out of an episode of Seinfeld, Bruner's attorney, Michael Fuller, told the Willamette? I don't know, I can't talk. But we have evidence to support our claim, and a deal is a deal. As I click things I don't need to click. Was he a pussy millennial? Oh, come on now! With that hate speech? We don't support that kind of hate speech here. But yeah, so that's what's up with Burger King. And hopefully he gets his. There was no no final. We don't get to follow up. We don't find out if he got his $9,026 or not. But honestly, I mean, at least he wasn't seeking millions. To his credit, he only wanted $9,000. Not that bad. Up next, a story. This is from last year, but I didn't know about this, and motherfucker, I should have. This is not fair. Apparently, and let me open up Das Story. Apparently, back in 2018, an armored truck had issues down by the Meadowlands and started fucking spraying money out of the back of the truck into the street, and that's what's on here, is the people stopping their cars in the middle of what appears to be either 17 or maybe Route 3. I'm assuming if the Meadowlands, I can't talk, it's down by Route 3. These were people parking their cars in the middle of the highway and running out of the streets collecting bills from an armored car that was spraying money out of the back of the truck. I didn't know about this. How did I not hear about the armored truck in my own state that was just dumping money onto the fucking highway? I would have spent the rest of the afternoon crossing back and forth across the highway, just up and down, digging out any bills that were left on the side of the road. Westbound, just past the Going westbound, just past MetLife Stadium. Thank you. He knows the exact location. So yeah, they apparently had problems with one of the back doors, and it was around 8:30 a.m. in East Rutherford, and they had an issue locking one of the doors, and it allowed bills to just fly out of the fucking truck. They said it was unclear how much cash they actually left, but cell phone video, which was caught here, shows people walking up and down the road to collect bills as I burp into the camera. Fuck it, just let it out. Cars honking at the men on the road, but then more and more people started saying fuck it, stopping their cars in the middle of the road and joining in. They said that the money chase caused a traffic backup all the way along the busy route during morning rush hour traffic. You'd have to return the money. Cops are still asking people to return cash using dash cam videos. So, I was a thought that was coming to mind as I went through this was, you know, they did ask anyone to come, you know, if you have information, please come forward. You would assume all the smart people would say, fuck that, we all got free cash. I'm not calling nobody about nothing. But that's fucked up that they're using dash cam videos and trying to find people and I guess recognize people on the videos and trying to demand the money back. Your own fucking, it's the armored trucks company's fault. They can handle it. You don't need to arrest people for that. That was free money day on the highway, and you should leave people the fuck alone about it. There is no necessity to hunt those people down. Where were we? Armored car. Done! We're done. Going back. The weird news, by the way, let me just stop for a second to say that it was a fucking really weird week for news, apparently, like within the past week. As I went on a search for this earlier this week, that's right, earlier this week, not today, not yesterday, earlier this week, when I went, okay, well, some of it was yesterday, but that's beyond, besides, Jesus fucking Christ, besides the point. The fact is, I was doing some of this early on in the week, preparing for today, for you. It was a really weird week for news. There was a lot of shit. It did not take me. Sometimes I have to poke through 3, 4, 5, even 6 different sites for good, interesting, weird news that's still relevant and recent. And this was really fucking easy. It took me next to no time at all to find everything that I needed. So it was really helpful. And DUIs. Shouldn't be anything that weird, right? I mean, come on, man. We've all heard about a DUI before. We've all seen funny DUI videos on the internet. What could you find that's so special? It's not necessarily the DUI that's special. It's the lawyer's defense for the person caught and stopped while for a DUI. Urgh. It was in Berwick, Pennsylvania. The attorney for a Pennsylvania woman charged with drunk driving has hinted that his client's coat chewing could have thrown off the results of her breath test. Coat chewing. So she has her jacket and she's just munching away on it. Just, that's all moist now. Moist. Just chewing on her coat. Suggesting that that could have altered the results. So the argument came during a hearing for a 47-year-old Jana Moshgat, however you pronounce her last name. An officer pulled her over, testified she was nibbling on her coat before he gave her the breath test, and he told her to stop. The lawyer asked the officer if he knew the chemical composition of the coat, noting that certain substances can alter the results of the test. Why is she chewing coats instead of carpets? Oh. You deserve that. You deserve that, Pookie. Yeah. I'm sure the cop was 100% certain at the time of the chemical compound of the jacket. Oh, no, absolutely. It's a combination of, I don't even know enough elements off the top of my head to even come up with something close to relevant, but it's a genium, genesium, spandexium. So the test showed her blood alcohol level was 0.151%, which was nearly twice the legal limit, and they smelled of alcohol and failed the sobriety test. So you reeked like alcohol, you failed the sobriety test, and you were just about double the limit, but, you know, just munching on your jacket a little bit before taking the breathalyzer, probably that's what did it. I mean, what else could it possibly be? That had to be the one. Moving forward, I tried to get progressively more weird. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this silly court image. I tried to get progressively weirder, as I try and do when I find these things, and I think I generally succeeded. I think so. Because next up, maybe you've seen this image. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you might have heard, possibly. No, you wouldn't have. There's no fucking way you would have heard of it before. There's some movie out, like some small time, nobody's heard of it movie out, called Bird Box. And in this movie, you've probably never heard of before, ever. Because nobody is talking about it. You may, if you knew the movie, which you definitely don't. Sandra Bullock is in it. I know. How have I never heard of this movie starring Sandra Bullock? I love Sandy Bullock. I don't know. Went under the radar. But she has to wear a blindfold. Like the whole fucking movie. Because there's monsters that will make her shoot herself or kill herself if she takes the blindfold off. And she's got this boy and a girl named Boy and a Girl. And at one point, they do some driving. I'm spoiling the fucking movie for you if you haven't seen it. I mean, why would you see it? But in case, since it's such a nobody's heard of it type of movie, there's nothing to be upset about. But at one point, they go driving using only the GPS in the car. They black out the windows, and they're using just the GPS navigation, trying to follow that to drive around. Well, this idiot took that one step further and blindfolded herself while driving in Utah. And what I find most impressive about the whole thing is that she managed to find another car to run into in Utah, what with only 6 people living there and all. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. But a blindfolded teenager driver in Utah crashed into another car for obvious reasons, according to the Layton Police Department. Bird Box challenge while driving. Predictable result. They put on their Twitter account along with a photo of this, and this one's the worst one, and I believe this was the driver. And another car on Layton Parkway surrounded by snow-covered sidewalks. One truck appeared to have the passenger side bumper dent in. It's not that bad on the truck. And then the Honda HRV here that's all smashed on the driver's side, and the airbags appear to be deployed. Luckily, no injuries, they wrote. And they said that it was a 17-year-old girl was driving with a 16-year-old passenger at the time of the crash. No shock. And it was the Bird Box Challenge. She decided to blindfold herself and try and take a drive. As we all know, the Bird Box Challenge has gone a little bit viral. Not quite as bad as some of the other things, but there are people out there blindfolding themselves for all sorts of activities. And as the cop said, somebody will always do the incredibly moronic thing, take it one step too far, and try and drive a car while blindfolded. And they released a video asking you, please, don't fucking do this, you moron. Care for some stale strawberry Pop-Tarts. Best part is the street was littered with abandoned vehicles in the scene before it, but when they went out with the blackened out windows, they don't hit any cars. That's the victim's car. They were driving a Chevy pickup, I believe. Thank you. Always there to pick up the loose ends that I don't have time for because I'm such a very busy man. But yeah, I was, I don't know. I was only mediocrely impressed with Bird Box, if we want to discuss it for just a brief moment. I didn't think it was all that incredibly special. It wasn't terrible, in my opinion. Didn't think it was terrible. Well-filmed movie. The premise of it, the actual story, nothing that original. Just reused bits of other plots from other movies. But well-acted. Malkovich, Bullock. Well-acted and... you know, it is what it is. If you expected all the hype to live up to something, it does not. Getting rid of the Bird Box car. Another one that works in my favor because it's not only weird, but also naked. Carefully cropped images saving me. But Paris's first nude restaurant closes for lack of business. And you might be thinking, well, how is this possible? It's a nude restaurant. Well, this is how it's possible, because if you haven't looked at it and figured it out from the start, they did it backwards. When I think nude restaurant, I think hot nude waitress serving me a steak. That's what I'm thinking of. No, their staff is fully clothed. The customers are the naked ones. Now, maybe if everybody got naked, there's a little bit of a balance there. Could still be a good time. But I'm eating the steak naked, waitress or waiter, to be fair, fully clothed? No. No wonder. No wonder the story is that you're closing for lack of business. They've gone belly up. Their customers weren't the only thing that was bare. So was their bank account. Faster. So, once naked, customers would enjoy a 3-course dinner with lobster, snail, lamb, or scallops for $58. And all the restaurant personnel remained fully clothed. Despite getting worldwide attention, the closing optional cafe is going bust. According to the local Au Natural owners Mike and Stephanie Sada, or Sada, posted a statement on its website announcing that the In the Buff Bistro will close for good on February 16th. Thank you for having participated in this adventure by coming to dine at Au Natural. We will only remember the good times, meeting beautiful people and customers who were delighted to share exceptional moments, like that man who shared his erection with us over brunch. Just a stupid idea as eating in the complete dark. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, but I would have done it the other way around. Not customers eating nude. I'm either nude and the waitress and the waiters and waitresses are naked, or we're all naked. There's not... No, not some fully clothed person serving me in the nude. If you get to enjoy all of this, then God damn it, I expect a little something in return. So getting rid of our nude diners. Stepping up our game in the weird news category. Cardboard cops. That's right. Sheriff uses cardboard deputies to fight crime. I don't know why I had to do that voice, but a Texas lawman came up with a clever way to stop speeders. As you can see here, they've used cardboard standees in different locations of a cop holding a radar gun down in Texas to try and slow people down. And they said he's pairing deputies with cardboard cutouts of officers to detect motorists from speeding. Obviously, they had pictures here showing what it looks like. That one has a cop standing behind it. I don't know if he's hiding or what. But they said it's a creative way to solve the problem without really working on the problem. When you're going 20, 30 miles an hour and you see the silhouette, you're immediately braking to slow down. They said, while the cardboard deputies won't be filling any quotas, they do appear to deterring speeders. They said they recently tested them in school zones, and they didn't get a single speeder. Everybody was braking before they got to the cutout, and so I guess that they had cops nearby to test it out and see if anybody was flying right past the cutout or if it's actually working. Go hard or go home. Go home with your cardboard cops. With your paper police. With your plaster of Paris popo. Oh, just getting started. I'm kidding. It's over. I don't have anything else. What happens when an idiot teenager goes to run one down with his friends and find out it's a real cop? Then they pay the full price of the law, Ryan. Because if you were going to mow down a cardboard police officer, it's just as bad as mowing down a real one. And I do these accents, and I don't know why. They just come out. Maybe it's because I drink before I do this. Every fucking time. Next up. What is that? PETA will not be my friend. Maybe you won't either. I'm sorry. But the story, McRoadkill, as I called it, because a man brings raccoon carcass into McDonald's, causes its brief closure. In San Francisco, he shocked employees and customers at a McDonald's Sunday morning when he brought a dead and bloodied raccoon into the restaurant. As a result, they closed for 2 hours so they could be so everything could be sanitized. There was a video which I opted not to grab that it said that the unidentified man came into McDonald's screaming for help as he just carried this dead animal. He came up to the counter and they thought it was a dog until they realized it was a raccoon. They told him to leave, and he just went and sat down and plopped it on the table. And they said there was blood all over the floor, all over the table. They believed that he was homeless, and he was kicked out of the store. They threw the dead raccoon away. No proper burial, you scum buckets. And the San Francisco police gave him a mental health evaluation and determined he did not need to be detained. No, because it's totally normal and to just walk into Mickey D's with a dead animal and flop it on the table. I see no reason why he should have been detained whatsoever. That's completely normal. Completely rational decision. As you can see here, there's nothing wrong with this picture. This is what you see all the time. Meanwhile, Burger King says that's still cleaner than our bathrooms. Oh, where's my button?
That's awful. That's awful.
Thank you. Just trying to win line of the day, aren't you? Next up. And we have one of these all the time. We have them so often that I'm probably going to make it its own segment. And I'm going to think of a good name for it. But the fact of the matter is, we have at least one poop story almost every week. There is always a story about shit. And this week is no exception. Because this little number right here is known as the shitty teacher. The Florida teacher accused of smearing shit in a park before a child's birthday party. It really can't get much better than that when you're looking at a shit story. But I'm sure the news will prove me wrong. hopefully by next week. But a substitute teacher in Florida was so angry with the principal that she smeared human feces around a Sarasota Park pavilion that the principal had rented for her child's birthday. Heather Carpenter, 42, faces a single count of criminal mischief over $1,000, and that's, you know what, that's not that bad for trying to get away with this prank. Maybe if you had gotten away with it successfully. She was released after posting a $2,500 cash bond. Authorities said they became aware of the incident on December 1st when a witness reported seeing a woman wearing blue gloves and a mask placing human waste and fecal matter on the porous wooden tables and grills at the family park in Sarasota. Mike Hutchinson, who said he was at the park at the time, said he was shocked and appalled when he walked into the pavilion and saw what had happened. The smell hit me, and I noticed that she did this to every table. It was a mixture of urine and feces, and she had a big cup and was just pouring it out and wiping it in. I don't know where she got it from. I'd kind of like to find out. That really just gets my attention. Where are you coming up with a big cup of shit? So the principal had reserved the pavilion for her daughter's birthday and asked if she knew anyone matching the description. She named Carpenter, who had been working at the school as a substitute teacher, and she was assisting Carpenter with a professional complaint, and Carpenter was not pleased with how the situation was handled, so decided to shit all over the tables at her daughter's birthday party, apparently. And according to the affidavit, she admitted she had intentionally placed the feces in the pavilion to disrupt the birthday party. It cost the county more than $2,300 to replace the tables and grills. She has pleaded not guilty. Not guilty. Even though she admitted she placed the shit on the tables, she's claiming not guilty. Now, I know we don't tend to get political up in here, but this was just too funny to let go. Today, we bring up the article first. We all know that and I hate to use some of these cliches, but it is funny, and this is the time and place. Our commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, has had a speech recently, spoke to us about the border security. And Twitter went to work and decided to cut together some edits of the fine orange man, turning it into a very sex tape-ish sounding clip. I present that clip to you now, and I hope that it fucking works appropriately. So let's see what we've got.
My fellow Americans.
No. We're going to go ahead and turn that off because it didn't work as I hoped, but we're going to watch it. So hang on a second, because we're going to do this another way instead. Okay. We're just going to do this on the fly. Okay. I know how to do this. Hang on. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Hang on. Sorry, guys. We're doing this on the fly, but now that I've talked about it, we are going to bring it up. I just have to find the right one here. There's what we're going to get. Where is it? Here we go. And let's go ahead. Oh, that's not what we want to do. That's what we want to do. It doesn't need to be huge, but I think I can scale it up anyway. Yes, I can. There we go. We can do this shit on the fly. Bam. All right. So, without further ado, let's try that again. Let's come up here. Let me bring this up.
My fellow Americans. Thank you and good night.
There you go. There you have it. So, that's what the Twitterverse was up to immediately after... there we go. Immediately after the speech was cutting together those wonderful edits. Yeah, thank you for giving me nightmares. You're welcome, because I have to hear that shit playing in my head too. Now you know what the Stormy Daniels sex tape would have sounded like. All right, and last but not least, because we are coming right down to the wire, just the way I like it, and that's because I started about 10 minutes late, but don't tell anybody. Last but not least, I know, does it get weirder than that? Can you get any stranger than that? If so, how do you plan to do it? Well, I think that the image will say enough. Soak that in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it. What is it? It's exactly what the fuck it looks like. It's a security camera that caught a prowler licking a doorbell for 3 hours. Yeah, that wasn't like a 1 or 2 lick type situation. He was trying to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. He attacked this door, cunnilingus style, for 3 hours. It was in Salinas, California. They might be ready to deliver a tongue lashing to the prowler. Their security camera caught licking their doorbell for 3 hours. Sylvia Dungan told the local station over the weekend that the security system alerted the family to strange movement in the early morning. I thought, boy, there's a lot of traffic. I go 5 in the morning. My son doesn't get home until 6 a.m. Well, then who the heck is it? Why am I giving her such an annoying voice? She was even more shocked. Pork chops and applesauce. What the fuck? She was even more shocked when she watched the video. Hours of a male trespasser licking the doorbell. I thought, oh boy, that's just weird. The tongue-wagging trespasser didn't stop there. Police said he was also caught on video appearing to urinate on the front lawn. So he got his freak on with the doorbell, and then decided, whatever, motherfucker! And pissed all over the lawn, too. They said the suspect, Roberto Daniel Arroyo, 33, could face misdemeanor charges for petty theft and prowling. What did he steal? Theft means you took something. Was it the virginity of the doorknob or the doorbell?
That's awful. That's awful.
But yeah, petty theft and prowling. As of Tuesday afternoon, he remained at large. What about rape of the doorbell? No? We going nowhere? I've lost you?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
They said there was no physical damage to the home, but her family spent the rest of the weekend sanitizing their doorbells, according to the station. I can't imagine, though, just walking outside, like, having maybe touched the doorbell previously or something like that to get someone to let you in the house, and then watching your camera and just seeing that, like...
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
He couldn't put a ring on it. There you go. Congratulations. You get the last one of the night, and now I'm banning you. All right, so that brings us to 10:01. So you got one of those minutes back. You're probably still going to miss out on 8 or 9 of them, but so what? Deal with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for joining me when you do, rewatching the episodes later on if you do, if you're not able to be here on Sundays. I really appreciate it every time. I put in as much effort as I can. Like I said, I'll probably be changing things around. I'm definitely switching the mixer out this week back to the other one that worked appropriately without all these fucking issues. So we won't have all these sound problems next week. I guarantee that. Hopefully I can rearrange the room too so I can get the lighting situation fixed. And we can make things start to look like they did last year. Other than that, as always, if you got the time, click the follow button, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, the Facebook page, my website, theprimalcast.com, all of the info and links that you need. There's also a Discord. Community's not big right now, but there's a Discord, so if you need reminders, the real big thing with some of this is, like, if you need a reminder on Sundays, because I know some of you do, if you need a reminder to come back and make sure, you know, oh shit, it's Sunday, he's going live at 9, Discord will start being the place, because I will be sending out announcements on Discord, like, hey, going live. That way you guys know when I'm streaming games or when I'm doing the podcast or doing whatever. I will start making announcements in there, so I want to get more people dragged into Discord as well. Dragged in, kicking and fucking screaming. And other than that, just give me a follow on all the stuff. Share my stuff, retweet, you know, fucking hit me up on the Instagram, comment and stuff. Because all of that brings a little bit more attention to the account. The more attention that comes to the account goes to the website, to the stream, to the shows, and inevitably we can make this even better with more and more effort and more popularity. Follow Primal for Prez 2020. No one could do worse than Trump. I like that. I like that slogan. I like that slogan. We might be using that. I am of the age, unfortunately. Nobody heard me say that. I mean, I totally couldn't run for president because I'm too fucking young and virile. But when I do become 35 and I am old enough to run for president, that will be my motto. Primal for Prez. Nobody could be worse than Trump. Bitch! Other than that, guys, thank you so much. You know I love the fact that you give me any attention at all. And let's just make this thing continue. As long as I stay consistent, which I have been for 2 weeks in a row, that's a good start. As long as I stay consistent and you stay supporting, I can make this better and better as often as humanly possible. So thank you guys. Much love. I will see you next week. Have a good one. Peace. I'm out.
put on it yet.